This is my prediction for I think the map veto is gonna go on both the upper final match as well as the lower round 3 match. So let's get right into it. And first up we've got EDG Pepper X, which is the upper final match. And for EDG's map veto, I think first up, I think they're gonna ban Ascent. It has been their perma ban thus far, both in China as well as in their 2 matches in Masters London. So yeah, I think they probably are gonna keep it as well, just because Paper X shitstormed Lev on the map. So Paper X has looked really good on that map, so I don't think EDG would feel too bad about banning it. So I think they're just gonna keep their perma ban. And I think for Paper X's map ban, I think they're likely gonna ban Pearl. It has looked like their worst map, and I think it's at least a decent map for EDG and probably a better map for EDG than it is for Paper X. So yeah, I feel good about that. I think for both of these bans, I feel fairly certain that they are gonna happen that way. And so then for Paper X's map pick first up, I think that's also fairly straightforward. I think they're gonna pick Haven. Now it isn't their best map or one of their best, but for Paper X's map veto, so both their bans as well as their picks thus far, I've been positively surprised. If I'm being honest, like I feel like they make good decisions on what to ban and what to pick. Like I don't see any dumb shit happening where they like just pick their best map, even if it's a great map for the opponents as well. So I think they're gonna do the sensible thing and pick Haven, which is by far EDG's worst map, and EDG has not looked good at all on this map. And yeah, even though, as I've said, it's just a decent map for Paper X, but that should easily be enough to win on a map as EDG. And then for EDG's map pick, um, I've I was kind of torn between them picking Fracture and them picking Split. And to be honest, I've gone with what I would like to see because on Split, I think Paper X's and EDG's as well, the ELO ratings, they're kind of inflated in different ways. Like I think EDG's is a bit higher just because they um kind of stomped XLG on that map, and then Paper X is kind of a bit too low because they got kind of stomped by Vitality on that map. But I would still say that Paper X are probably favorites on that map, in my opinion. So because of that, I would prefer for EDG to pick Fracture, which is like outside of Pearl the only map where I would say I see EDG as slight favorites. Um, Even though the ELO rating might be a bit in favor for Paper X, I feel like I've seen more from EDG on that map. Overall, I think they have looked a bit better overall. I think they've beaten better teams on that map, like teams that are better on Fracture. So yeah, because of that, I feel a bit better about EDG's Fracture thus far. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Paper X end up winning it, and it ends up being a 2-0. But yeah, just also for the fun of it, I've gone with EDG. But yeah, I also really think they are slight favorites on Fracture, so I think it's gonna be 1-1. And then for the second rotation of map bans, I was quite uncertain about what to do. And to be honest, it's kind of because I feel the same way about each of the 3 maps. Like Split, Lotus, and Breeze would be remaining. And I think on all 3 of these maps, I would favor Paper X over EDG, and not by incredibly much. I think it's just a slightly favoring them, because I think EDG has looked really, really good. But yeah, I still slightly favor Paper X, and so for EDG's map ban, I've gone with them banning Lotus in the second rotation. I feel like Paper X have looked really, really good on the map, and EDG, even though they beat XLG on the map, I feel like XLG's Lotus um, has looked kind of rough, um, like the further the tournament went on. So I don't value that win from EDG over XLG as highly as I did before. So because of that, I think for EDG, Lotus is probably the worst out of the remaining ones. And then for Paper X's map ban, I've just gone with them banning Split and leaving Breeze as the deciding map because genuinely just because of the Vitality match, because they lost to Vitality on Split and won versus Vitality on Breeze, when I thought Paper X were the better Split team and Vitality were the better Breeze team. So just because of that, I think probably Paper X banning Split and leaving Breeze where I see them as favorites. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being the other way around because they're split. I still think their split is gonna be good, and maybe they just thought it was like a fluke day. But yeah, right now I think their Breeze has looked better than their split slightly. So because of that, I think Breeze will be the deciding map, and it's gonna be a 2-1 for Paper X over EDG. And then in the second match, in the lower round 3 match, it's Vitality versus Leviathan. And for the map vetoes, I think for Vitality, I've gone with them banning Haven, which is their worst map. And then Lev picking their best map, which is Split. I also think Vitality beating Paper X on that map was maybe slightly a fluke, so their elo rating might be a little bit inflated, as I've talked about with Paper X before. So because of that, I think Lev would win that. And then for Lev's map ban, I think they have to ban Breeze since it's their worst map. I think for Vitality's map pick, Lotus would probably be the best choice. I would probably feel the best about Vitality picking that. And it's just due to Lev just stomping a XLG on a map where XLG used to be good on, but as the further the tournament went on, they just looked progressively worse on that map, and Vitality has beat actually good looking teams on Lotus. So because of that, I think Vitality have looked stronger on Lotus, and I would think that Vitality would win versus Lev on Lotus. And so then for the second rotation of map bans, I've gone with Lev banning Fracture, and I've actually looked into it, and quite funnily, in every game except for their first match at Masters London, like the first match versus GE, they picked Fracture themselves and won 13-11, so in a really close match. And then from then onwards, every single match, Lev banned Fracture in the second rotation of bans. And yeah, I think it's very telling for Lev that they aren't quite willing to play Fracture. And I think Vitality has shown more willingness to pick Fracture. So because of that, I think Lev are probably gonna ban it. And yeah, I think for both of these teams, this isn't a great map, but yeah, because of what I've talked about, because of Vitality's willingness, I feel like they would be fine with Fracture being the deciding map, and I think they would win. So because of that, I think Lev are really likely to ban it in the second rotation again. And then for Vitality's map ban, I've gone with banning Ascent. I feel like it's kind of the map elo rating is again kind of inflated for both of these teams, because Lev got destroyed on that map by Paper X, so their elo rating is lower, and Vitality just destroyed Foot on that map. so their elo rating is probably a bit higher than what it should be. And yeah, honestly, we've only seen Vitality now win this one game on Ascent, and before that they had 2 losses, so I I would need more evidence for Vitality to show me that they are actually a good Ascent team and not this one stomp over foot. And I still think Lev's Ascent is probably really, really good. So because of that, I think Lev would be so happy with Ascent being the deciding map, and I would favor Lev actually on that map. So because of that, I think it would be a good ban for Vitality, and that would leave the remaining map, the decider, to be Pearl, which incidentally I've chosen Vitality to win it, and I know I've talked a lot about EMEA Pearls and them not looking great at all, so it's quite funny that I would pick an EMEA team to win on Pearl, especially on the deciding map. But I feel like Vitality has been the one exception kind of in EMEA, right? They have a great record on that map, and they've looked great on that map thus far. So yeah, I think for Lev, that map has looked a bit more up and down. They've struggled a bit more, so because of that, I feel better about Lev on that map. Uh, Better about Vitality on the map, but I think it's gonna be a close match regardless. And I think we're gonna get a 3 map banger, and I think probably all 3 maps are gonna be really close. But in the end, I've gone with a 2-1 for Vitality over Lev. But let me know what you guys think. With which picks do you agree? Which matches do you see going differently? And then we're probably gonna see each other in 2 days for the lower final match.